Hey guys, Kelby with South Plains Trains here again with an awesome locomotive, the new Intermountain Tier 4 Gevo BNSF. I don't have the Norfolk Southern or the Canadian National on hand with me right now, so we will be doing a review of those probably as well. Maybe not the Norfolk Southern as it's pretty close to the BNSF, but definitely the Canadian National since it has the DPU light and etched metal walkways and all this other stuff. But anyway, my first impression of this thing is wow. It is seriously one of the greatest models I've ever seen or held or heard. And I'm not just saying that, guys. I've been a big proponent of these new Tier 4s coming out from Intermountain for a while since I've known about them. I've been fed some of the sneaky details along the way. Maybe not, but I'd like to think I was. So some of the key points of this new thing, they do have walkway lights on the front and rear. They have ditch lights that are scale size, as you'll be able to see in the pictures at the end of the video. The number boards light up. The headlight looks great. All the etched metal grills and everything look amazing. They way beat out brass on that aspect. The grills are not see-through, but the weight of the thing, it's like a brick, and so they had to make sure that the chassis was heavy enough, and that was critical area to make the chassis heavier. So they kind of made, a few compromises in there to make sure that this thing was much heavier, much better puller than the previous Tier 3 Gevos that they produced, and SD40-2s and whatever else. The biggest complaint I've ever had from Intermountain locomotives is definitely not on detail, paint, or anything else. It's always been the pulling power. And they realized that, and they wanted to fix that in these new runs. The chains on the rear back here, these are actual chains. These are actual springs holding up the chains. I mean, can you believe that? The bearing caps actually spin. And those of you that are familiar with scale trains, they do have a lot of these details as well. But I just think that Intermountain just blew this thing away. It's just amazing. For those of you that are getting non-sound versions that would eventually like to upgrade to sound, or would like to get rid of the ESU Loc sound, which I highly do not recommend. I love ESU Loc sound. I think it's the best on the market. But the shells on these are extremely easy to take off. You just remove the couplers, take off the chains I just showed on the back, and the shell lifts up. They have little contacts for the LEDs, so all the LEDs are already inside the shell. They don't have any wires running to them. They just have contact pads that touch whenever the shell comes down. Super awesome. Super easy to work on. Other key features, just the actual crispness of the details. It's just amazing. One complaint I do have from the factory, the ditch lights do flash on BNSF. They shouldn't, so that's a quick CV change, not a big deal. But I guess to make sure that it'd be easier, or make sure people had it out of the box, like they would with Norfolk Southern or something, they do flash. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get this thing started up. So anyway, here's the bell. Let's go ahead and turn on the lights. Turn on the ditch lights. Let's go ahead and turn on the number boards. Make sure you look up there at the number boards. You can probably barely see it turn on, but they are there and they do work, and they are nice and bright. Here's the horn. And like I said, the ditch lights do flash with the horn, but that's an easy CV change. Let's go ahead and kick up the motor a little bit. I'll put drive hold on so y'all can hear it. Sorry for the bug. So anyway, we'll bring it back down a little bit. So, well, sorry for that, guys. Kind of took off on us there. So, if you'll pay attention just a little bit, you'll see the bearing caps actually spin in the video, and they look really good. They are all set perfectly. They look like they're actually set there, and they don't look like a toy or a piece of plastic that's spinning at the end of an axle. They actually look like they belong there, like the real thing, and you can see that pretty easily. I think it's really cool. It's really cool what's going on right now in models. I mean, who knew that we'd be sitting here in 2017 talking about models with actual roller bearings and etched metal that is better than brass. I would have never imagined it. It's the craziest thing to me. The lights are really nice and bright. I did notice on the Norfolk Southern, whenever I was testing them out last night, that the headlight isn't as bright, and the headlight's also on top of the cab instead of on the nose like the BNSF. But whenever you look directly at the headlight, it looked really good. Just whenever you were looking to the side, it wasn't very bright. So that was one little thing I noticed. All of these, I got quite a few in yesterday, I guess on Saturday, and a lot of these had perfect detailing. There were no issues, which is definitely a relief to me, being a dealer for Intermountain and stuff. It makes it easier on us. So the QC's definitely stepped up. The handrails look good. They are a little warped, but for the most part, they look good, and they look pretty to scale. So that's nice to see. They may be a little overscale, but I mean, for the most part, they look flawless. The details right here, they look good. If you watch the Bowser video on the Red Barn, I mentioned that they do look a little thick. These do not look thick, however. Also, you'll notice the ET44C4, the designation number, and then all these little warning labels. And all these warning labels, they went through extensive research to make sure that they were all correct. They have nice printing on them, so if you probably really did pull them under a magnifying glass, you probably notice them and be able to read them, or be able to figure out what it says. The etched metal, let's go ahead and drive it forward just a little bit. The etched metal back here, you can't see it, but in the videos at the end of the video, or in the pictures at the end of the video, I'll definitely have some close-ups. They just look really great, and then if you look at the ripples in the drills, they're going to come really close to what the prototype has. These little glasses, I don't know what it is, but this little plastic see-through piece is actually on the real thing as well, and it's really well depicted on the models. The C4 truck detail, it's really impressive. It really is. You can see this on BNSF. They pick up this middle axle, and so not all the time is it used for traction and whatever else. The steps are really nice. They seem to have done a pretty good job on the paint. It could use a little bit of touch-up. Can't see it on that end. Here, I'll push it down just a hair. You can kind of see a little bit of mistakes in the painting of it, but for the most part, you can't tell. The tint on the windows is great. The PTCs, I have great pictures of the PTCs at the end of the video. They are impressive, and there are two different styles of them on BNSF, and I do include both of those at the end of the video. So definitely hang tight and watch till the end. The underbody detail is really nice. It may not be as impressive as the scale trains, or from what we've seen so far of scale trains, but it does look really good. And for the most part, I mean, if you're running the models, you don't notice the underframe detail that much until you actually look at it while you're weathering or something else. So if you're just looking at it from the side, you can't tell. Other than that, I don't really have any complaints for it. I mean, just everything about it's just an impressive model. We'll go ahead and give you a better look here. You can see all of this etched metal detail. It's just really impressive, guys. I wouldn't expect this out of a model, especially a plastic model. Some of the detailing on the truck right here, you can see that. The air tanks, you can see that they're pretty good. The pop-off valves and everything, they look great. Let's go ahead and flip this around. You can see the truck detail on the back of this chain. Now guys, the chain is really amazing. These are actual springs right here, and they actually too mimic a spring because they're springs. It's real chain. This is a roller bearing cap. These are not. Just everything about it, guys, is impressive. The rear body of it, you can see that. Oop. You can see that right there. See the extra knuckles and everything on the back. Anyway, let's do a quick flyover like I usually do, so you can see everything. And on the NS, you're also going to notice that it has 3 dynamic brake covers right here instead of the BNSF where it only has 2. The etched metal details on this is super nice. One little complaint I do have is that the exhaust stack doesn't seem like it has a lot of depth to it, but with a little bit of weathering, you can definitely take care of that. It'll give it a little bit more depth. So let's go ahead and throw this on the scale. See how much it weighs, because it is super heavy. It's definitely the heaviest model I've ever tested that was stock. So right there it says 24.65 ounces. So that is almost a pound and 8 ounces. That's really impressive. It's a pound and a half. And I guarantee you guys these things are going to pull like crazy, like mad. And I've had some comments, you know, mention this is not very prototypical because these things don't really pull that much in real life. But hey, you can't complain. These things are going to be able to pull trains. I know James Wright on his video said that he could pull 71 cars on the flat. So there you go. I would like to see, I'd like to go over to the Roswell Club and test out and see just how much these locomotives can pull on a 2% grade. And I may do that at some point in the near future. But until then, guys, this has been an awesome locomotive. I do have these still. Right now they've been pushed back to the end of the month, maybe the 1st of August. But we can still order these for sure. My price on these are $220 with free shipping or $150 with free shipping, with sound and without sound respectively. So just break that back down again. $220 with free shipping with ESU Loc sound, or $150 with free shipping for ESU Loc Pilot without sound. So anyway, guys, leave a comment down in the section below. Make sure that, you know, I mean, let's discuss it. What do y'all think about it so far? I think this is by far the best Intermountain locomotive that's ever been produced, and probably one of the best locomotives that's ever been produced in HO scale. And that really does say a lot with the level of quality and detail that we see now from Bowser and Scale Trains and all those others. So make sure that you let us know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions on them. Right now we have BNSF, NS, and Canadian National, and then they do have some more coming on the way that are Union Pacific and CSX, and those are delayed a little bit, but they're on their way. So, and they should be here at the same time at the 1st of the month in August or whenever. So anyway, guys, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you watching the video. Let me know what you'd like to see to improve these videos. Anyway, this is Kelby Vice with South Plains Trains, and peace out.